Here are my realistic platinum price targets for 2023. If you want to skip straight ahead to those, hit the time codes below. And of course, if you want to stay updated throughout the year, hit the big red subscribe button on YouTube. Hey everyone, it's Joe from Ainslie Bullion, ainslieBullion.com.au. We've done a gold price prediction, we've done a silver price prediction for 2023. I'll put links to those above and below. But now it's the time for platinum. This is how it will work. Of course, I want to quickly show you where we've come from in order to show you why I think we will go to certain prices. So a little bit of history. Again, you can use the time codes if you want to skip through all of that. I'm then going to do some very simple support and resistance lines based on this yearly time frame. So each candle here is worth 12 months. And then I'm going to go a little bit closer in, it's probably the monthly time frame, and we're going to use Fibonacci from a certain high and a certain low to see if there's any confluence with the support and resistance lines that I have, the targets moving high and the targets moving lower. I'm going to give you two realistic targets for 2023 and one target which is, probably not, but, just in case. And I'll do the same, two targets moving lower, realistic ones. And then, you never know, just in case of a black swan event. Does that all make sense? Fantastic. Let's go straight into it. I'm going to show you very quickly on the monthly time frame where we have come from. A quick little bit of history if you don't know much about platinum or the platinum price in particular. So we had a high of $2,300 US. Now I must say, of course, we're pricing everything in the US dollar because that is the world's reserve currency. There's no point talking about other currencies because they all float against the US dollar. So in the precious metals industry, when we talk about spot price, etc., most of the time we're talking about USDs. That's why we use US dollars. So bear that in mind. The high of $2,300 US in about February 2008. And then a quick low, of course, you know what happened in 2008, the GFC. We had a huge sell-off down to about $750. And then for the last, up until even now, up until 2022, we basically ranged within that price. We did not see a higher price. We didn't see any lower than 750, except for the Black Swan event in March of 2020, which was the reaction to COVID really, coming to the forefront and it becoming a pandemic. So we did see a brief move, a Black Swan move down to this $570 mark. But basically, if that hadn't have occurred, it was just a range between this 2,300 and this 750 mark. What you'll notice is this very large, long downtrend line, which we did attempt to break out a couple of times. Once here in 2011, another time here, 2012, another time in 2013. And it took a long time. We bottomed out. Again, discluding this, we bottomed out again at that 750 range. I'm trying not to really include that because it's a black swan. So that 750 range back in August of 2018. And just recently, since 2021, around about January, we've had a few attempts to break out of this long-term downtrend line. So far, they have been failed attempts. We broke out, it failed to hold as resistance, back down, broke out, failed to hold as resistance, back down, and now we're third time, hopefully is a charm. We have broken out. So far, it has held as support right here. We did have an attempt to, a move back down to this line here around about your $1,000 mark. So far, it has held as support. Out of interest, I'll pop it on the weekly. And I did also put in this downtrend line right here. And just recently, for the first time, we broke out of that. Unfortunately, it was a failed move to hold that as support, but we're currently possibly even testing it right here. So are you bullish on platinum for 2023? Post a comment below. Are you bearish on platinum 2023? Post a comment below and give your reasons why as well. I'm not here to give you financial advice in terms of whether Ainslie, whether we think, and of course I don't speak for Ainslie, this is my personal view, but I'm not going to tell you I definitely think it's going higher this year or I definitely think it's going lower. I'm just going to give you my realistic price targets if we move higher and if we move lower. So that is the history of where we've come from with the platinum price. Let's go back to, and I'll get rid of this. Let's go back to the yearly time frame, and I'll also take, I will take these off for now, just so we can see them a little bit better. And also what you'll notice here is this horizontal line, and that is just indicating the start of the next year. But right here, each candle is 12 months. So this is the 2023 candle right here. In fact, I'll actually get rid of that as well. So first, I do want to show you the amount that platinum ranges within a year, sort of typical percentage ranges. So if I'll take I think that's the price range right here. Let's take sort of some average price ranges from highs and lows over the last few years. So for example, let's take the low to this high. This is the 2018. That's a roughly 40% price range within the year. These are very big price ranges. Platinum have larger price ranges than silver and gold generally do. Not always the case, but that's a 30% price range. Of course, I don't want to count that one again because it's the black swan. So I'll take it from here to here. That's a 44%. So 40%, 30%, 44%. What else do we have here? This one that's nearly that's a 50% price range. Okay, that's in 2021. This price range right here is 40%, 45%. So as you can see, they're pretty typical. So between your 40% to 50% price range between the highs and the lows, and of course, if you're talking, the more wilder swings in a big bull run, well, that's a 40% there. But when you get to the sort of the end of the bull, what's that? That's 40% there. So really, it was actually this big one here, that was that 100 and something percent one. So really is that sort of between sort of your 40 to 50%, let's call it, price range within a year. So basing it on that, what are my realistic price targets moving higher for 2023 and moving lower? Maybe you've clicked the time code right now and you're right here right now. Congratulations, you missed all the other stuff, but that's all right. Go back if you want to watch it. Here are my realistic price targets moving higher in platinum for 2023. And this is based on support and resistance, if you weren't listening before, and general price ranges for a year. And then again, we'll go back and look at the Fibonacci and see if there's any confluence between those. So right here, my first platinum price target, I am looking at a target of right here around about your 1300 to 1350 level right there, and it's based on this level right here, this low in January of in 2013, and of course coming up to meet this high in 2021. That is my first level right about there. So I'm going to put it maybe just around about in between. So let's put it about 1300. So it's between 1300 and 1350 is my first level that I think is a realistic price target, that if we are going higher with platinum in the year, that's realistically where it could top out. So that's the first and most likely price target moving higher for 2023 in my non-financial advice opinion. That is number one. Let's do number two. So my next one right here, and I'll give you my reasons why, but it's around about here at $1,500 to $1,520. And that is right there. Why is that? That's because of this high on the yearly in 2014. And what you'll also notice, it was a high here in January of 2009. It's also hovered around the opening and the closes here of 2007 and 2008. And you'll also notice a price cluster around here, a close and an open in 2012 and 2013. So that 1500, 1520 level is a big, significant level in my opinion. And also if you take it from, let's assume that we are not going any lower in the platinum price this year. What is the price range? Well, the price range up to there is around about 30%, well within range. And up to here, it's around about close to your 50%. So I think personally, well within the average price ranges on the yearly time frame. So again, if platinum does not go any lower from here, and if we are only heading up higher, and if we do not close any lower than right here for the year of 2023, first, very realistic, I think, price target, $1,300 roughly, $13 to $13.50, and this definitely, I don't think we would go higher than this. Realistically, of $1,520 US. Those are the two realistic ones, again, because they're within that sort of general price range. I'll get rid of that. And here's the blue sky thinking, you never know, just in case price. I don't think it would go any higher than this. It's around about your $1,740, $50 level right there, because as you can see, on the yearly time frame, you can see this cluster right here. That's what 1770 closed, and then it opened at there, and then you've got this level in 2012 of your 1730 level, again around about 1730. So I think definitely no higher, and I don't think this would happen in 2023. It's not realistic, but it's just in case, a black swan event that really pushes us a lot higher in 2023, around about your 1730 $1,750 US level. Out of interest, what kind of price move is that from the bottom, if this would be the bottom? Yeah, that's, look, a 70% move. I think that's unrealistic, but I'm going to put it there just in case. So those are my three price targets. Moving higher, $1,300 to $1,350, first and most realistic. Next, possible $1,520, and not likely, but you never know, of that $1,730 US level. Those are my price targets moving higher for 2023. Let's do the same for my price targets moving lower. Right here, I think, is the first one, around about your $900 level. That is matching up with the low in 2021. You can see the low is actually bang on, if you can see that right there. Look at that L. When I put it over there, look at that L level, and look at that L level right there, bang on $900. I think that is your first realistic price target if we do see some lower prices in platinum. Again, doing this purely based on the yearly candles and support and resistance lines. Again, we'll go and have a look at the Fibonacci, see if there's any confluence there. So that's based on that level right there. You can also see a level of support back in 2009 as well. That's where we bottomed out. So that's my first target moving lower. You might be able to really easily see these yourself because we're looking on the yearly time frame. My next key level is not as realistic, but quite possible a big level of support right here at $820. Why? I think you can really easily see that. It's a level of support in 2005. It was a level of support in 2015, very close in 2016, right there, and a huge level in 2022. That's where we bottomed out in 2022. So that's my next target moving lower. And here's my unrealistic, I think, but you never know, it could hit there, and that's going to be at this previous level right here of $750 US. So a much tighter range for me in terms of the price moving down from here. Let's also take a quick look at those. Let's take it from the high, and let's see. So that is a 20% move lower. That's a 25% move lower, and that's a 30% move lower. So I think that's well within the ranges. I do personally, no, actually, I won't say that. I won't say whether I'm personally bullish or personally bearish on platinum for this year. I don't like to give or to be seen to be giving financial advice. But what you can see here from the prices I'm giving, that there's a much larger price range to move higher, in my humble opinion, and a tighter range moving lower. I don't see us moving lower than 750. And one of the reasons I say that is because of this black swan event. Yes, we did hit $560 US in March of 2020, but what happened in March of 2020? That black swan event. I think if we had another black swan starting from these prices, that would be the lowest in my opinion. I think 750 is a very, very clear support level. I don't see it going lower than that. So those are my reasons for realistic price target number 1 of $900 moving lower. Second, realistic, not as likely but possible, $820 moving lower. And the I don't think it would happen, but black swan event, big line in the sand of $750. Now, from that, let's take a look at the Fibonacci levels and see if there's any confluence with those. I'm going to take it from the high of, and this is all cherry picking, of course, this is not an exact science and it's all confirmation bias and all that sort of stuff, but I am going to take it from the high of, obviously, of 2300 back in 2008. I am not taking it, the low from the black swan event. I am going to take it from this level right here of $750 right there. So clearly that $750 mark fits because it's the low right there. Is there a lot of confluence between my support and resistance levels on the yearly time frame and the Fibonacci? Well, what do you know? There just so happens to be. Of course, I did this all previous. I had a look at the charts before making the video. But I really do believe that this black swan should be discounted, and I'm really am using this 750 level as support for my Fibonacci moving higher and moving lower. Have a look as to why as well. Because if I take it from this low, do I see any matching? And I'm going to have to get rid of those for just a second. Sorry about that. So you can see it a little bit more clearly. I will remember those targets. Is there any confluence? Are there any major targets that the prices are hitting on the Fibonacci levels when you take it from this high and this low? You could kind of say maybe here, maybe there, but not as much. Maybe here, but not as much if you discount the black swan and take it from the 750 level, which is the support here and the support right here. Okay, on the monthly time frame, of course, down to 750. You then had a move up to the 1700 level. That is the 6.618 right here, around about your 1700 level. It was an area of resistance. You then had an area of support around about the 1520 level. 1520 level right there, and then you had a move to break above. It was a failed move, and then we came right back down to, what do you know, the 0.382 and around about your $13.40, $13.50 level. And then if we pop in a little bit closer, again, this is on the monthly time frame, a resistance level at the 0.618, back down, an attempt to break down. No, another resistance level here at the 0.618, another resistance level at 0.618. It was a failed move. And even on the monthly right here, you can see it traded on the monthly time frame in between the 0.618 and the 50% level right there. So I think taking it from the high of 2300 and 750 is much better than taking it as the low down here. You can see definitely trading within these Fibonacci channels. Can you see those? Another attempt to break through the 50%. No, it was a failed move. Oftentimes from a failed move comes a very fast move in the opposite direction. We did see that over a good number of months. We did not come back down to 750, but we did make a play above the 0.236. It was a failed move, a fast move back down to the low right here. Started to break out, to make an attempt to break out above the 0.236, the black swan event. Now I think, and of course I can just say this, it's my confirmation bias. I believe if we did not have that black swan event of March 2020 and COVID, if we did not have COVID, then I don't think we would have broken down. I don't think actually we would have seen this as support again at 750. I think we could have probably just erased this right here, and you would have seen just a nice little price trading range moving back up to, what do you know, as a resistance level, the 0.382 or that sort of $1,340, $1,350 level. Again, you have some resistance here at the 0.236, and just recently in the last month, we have hit bang up against the 0.236 once again. So Hopefully this is proving to you, at least it does to me, again, could be confirmation bias, that this high and this low of 750 works better than this low of 560. So that's why I'm taking it from there, and I will put my price targets back in again. It was 1300 to 1420. It was around about there. That's why I think. Again, it matches up with the 0.382. You can definitely see where it matches up with the $1,520 level. That was my second realistic price target moving higher right there. And also, you see, very roughly, it coincides quite closely with my 1730 call right there of my probably not, but you never know just in case price target. So realistic price target, 1300, 1350. Next price target, 1520, and that 1730 level. I'll pop that back out on the yearly just so you can see that. And they are exactly where I had them before. So that 13 to 1350 level, that 1520, and that 17. And they match with the Fibonacci levels. Let's do the same for the price targets moving lower. Probably not as much, I think, but what you can see here, you've got that big support level, that 900. That's why I think that's so important. Can you see that big level of support going all the way back to October of 2016? A big level of support right there, I think. So that's my first one. The next one at that $820 level. Right there, that doesn't match up with any Fibonacci. It's working much better for the highs than it is for the lows. That's my 820 level right there. And of course, I'll pop that in there. And of course, that 750 level, well, that's just the low right there. So it works better for me with the highs rather than the lows. But what you have to understand is we are right in between two Fibonacci levels here, and that's a big range. The difference between the 0, the low of the Fibonacci, and the 0.236 is a much larger price range. So that's why I think these levels here moving lower are my targets rather than, well, there's no Fibonacci levels in between. So that's why they are my targets moving lower. So I hope that all makes sense. I'm going to get rid of the Fibonacci. Those are my targets moving higher and moving lower for 2023 for platinum. Once again, the overall, if you've skipped to the time code that just says, give me all the information in 1 quick minute, here it is right here. I'll even put that time code below so you can skip all the other stuff. My first realistic target moving higher for 2023 is roughly 1300 to 1340. I've just put it in here at this previous level of resistance at 1330, but we'll call it 1300 to 1350. My next realistic price target is $1,520, and my not realistic, but you never know, just in case something happens and we go absolute gangbusters, is at $1,730 US. My price target's moving higher, my price target's moving lower. The most realistic is $900 US. The next realistic is $820 US, and my absolute line in the sand, don't think it would ever get lower than this, and I don't think it would hit this in 2023. Coming years, I don't know, we'll have to see where it goes, but it's not going to hit this in 2023, but you never know, just in case, of $750. If you would like to stay updated throughout the year, I will do, and I do weekly gold, silver, and platinum analysis on a Tuesday. So you do want to hit the big red subscribe button on YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook, and I'll put those links below because we will post the videos there too. So you can get it on whichever is your preferred social media platform. That is my platinum price prediction for 2023. If you watched the whole thing, thanks for sticking with me. If you went straight to the time codes, maybe go back and have a look at the reasons why, and hopefully you find them informative, and I hope to see you on the next technical analysis video. Thanks for watching, and as always, thanks for choosing Ainslie.